Hey guys, what is going on? It's Colin here from Black Box Gaming, and well, welcome to Dark Souls. This is probably going to be a fairly long stream as I am a bit obsessive with Dark Souls at the moment, with Dark Souls 2 on the horizon. So I am going to do a little bit of a special, and I'm going to start a new game completely from scratch, just for the stream, just for the memories. And for anybody who hasn't played Dark Souls, who's interested in watching Dark Souls, this is for you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start a new game. Alright, let's name him... What else would we name him? Is there even any other names available? I don't think there is. Male, let's see, what class was I last time? I believe I was a warrior last time. Wanderer, thief, bandit, hunter, huh. Not sure what I want to be. That's great, I'll be a knight. Okay, and then we definitely want the master key. Slim knight, I guess. Face, yeah. Semi-long. Black. Alright, customize. So now here's where things get a little bit fun. With our customization. So I need to actually customize my character, but I don't remember how to do that exactly. Customize the entire face. I know there's a way to customize like your body too, like your skin tone, but I don't remember how to do that exactly. And you know what? Let's go with white. No, no. I don't know exactly. Yeah, you know what? Let's go with green hair. Like really green hair. Okay. Now there is a way to customize. Here we go. This one might take a while. So yeah, that's funny. Then we're gonna go to pale, I believe. Don't remember exactly. I'm going for blue skin, by the way. Two blue skin. I guess we'll figure it out, won't we? Of course, I don't want it to be the entire stream. So... all I know is I need to get this one over to blue. About to just make myself red. Either red or like really white. Didn't make them red, I guess. There's our character. Screw it. You know what? Let's just go. Let's start. Come on. Let's do this. We've had enough of this customizing crap. It is time to play Dark Souls. And those of you who have not seen this, enjoy.
The world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire. And with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers. And man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
And that was the intro for Dark Souls. So when the game begins, I guess I'll start off by talking a little bit about the lore, I guess, behind Dark Souls. I really want to make this stream as interesting as possible to keep it going for as
Yes,
long as
indeed.
possible.
The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Alright, so here we are at the beginning of Dark Souls. I just want to let you guys know that I have not played this game in a ridiculously long time. So, please, for the love of God, forgive me for the amount of shit I'm putting myself through. It has really been a long time since I've played Dark Souls. I'm talking months, you know, probably upwards of 2 months. So, this is kind of like a journey for me too, you know. I went through the game first time, very little problems. I did run into some problems with I believe that the most difficult part of the entire game, my first playthrough for me, was Smo and Ornstein. And, you know, for those Dark Souls veterans, you guys know what I'm talking about. But for people who may not be so much into Dark Souls, or this may be the first time they're seeing anything about Dark Souls, you guys will see. So, this stream definitely is gonna last as long as I can make it last. And then, I plan on doing a stream pretty frequently until the release of Dark Souls 2. And then, like I said, when Dark Souls 2 hits, I'm gonna have Dark Souls 2 gameplay first day 1 on launch. Not even gonna start the game without you guys. I'm gonna make sure that I've got a lot of stuff, got a lot of food, snacks, whatever. Cause this is gonna be a long one. But you know, I never actually realized that you could see him up there until just now. I saw his little Peter. No. Alright. Alright, so there's that. It is a scare tactic. Just run through the door, no problem, you're done. The boss fight is unavoidable. You kind of need to beat him eventually to leave the asylum, which isn't a big deal. Not a difficult boss fight. Especially seeing as it's the first one. I guess you wouldn't expect it to be difficult, but it is Dark Souls we're talking about. So I guess in the sense that if you've never played the game before, it is an excruciating boss fight, considering it's a tutorial fight, and I really loved it. So like I said, it has been a very long time since I've played Dark Souls, so this is going to be interesting for me, this is going to be interesting for you guys. So this is a journey that I'm really looking forward to, you know, to experiencing with you guys. Now normally I would just come in here and I would just kill Oscar, but for the sake of lore, for the sake of the stream, I'm gonna go ahead and let this dialogue play out. So here we go.
Oh, you. You're no hollow, hmm? Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. You and I were both undead. Regrettably, I have failed in my mission. But perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. when thou ringest the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. An Estus flask. An undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now. And thank you.
Okay, so long story short, this is Oscar. He's actually the one who threw you, and from this point forward, when I mention you or say you, it's most likely going to be about the character, the lore. So basically, Oscar was on the roof. He drops you into your cage at the beginning of the game, and he drops you he drops you the key to your cage, and allows you to escape. Oscar was on the roof when the Asylum Demon came out, and it smacked him through the roof, and that's how he got down here. Because as you can see, before this ball rolled down and broke open this wall, that was the only point of entrance. There's no other way in this room other than there. So, you got hit down here through the Asylum Demon, which is why he's now dying. And if you paid attention to his family saying, it's basically explaining that the chosen undead will be the one that leaves the asylum and finds the fate of all those undead. And that's the whole story of the game. In the first 12 sentences, you know the basic story. Now you could kill Oscar, but I'm gonna leave him there. I feel like kind of a douche for doing it, but it makes me sad killing him. I don't know what I just killed, but it was apparently something. Oh, that was weird. And like I said, guys, just bear with me. It's been a very, very long time since I played this game. Not roll as a knight. Bat rolling sucks. Parry game is off as well. Ooh. Nah, that's okay. I can get in here and practice a couple parries with this guy. There we go, there's a good parry. I believe that might have killed him, actually. Yep. So as you can see, right off the bat, that's almost half his health if you plunge attack him right there. Fortunately, did not dodge that. Oh, damn. Oh, that was a complete miss. Shit. Might as well just get back up to full. I think I can take him. Ah, man, rolled right into that one. That was new. Also rolled into that one. It's okay, because I should have him right here, unless that kills me. Nope. Alright, cool. Very close, surprisingly. The first time I did this, of course, I died a bunch, but, I just did this flawlessly. Did not take a single hit. Didn't use any flasks or anything. So yeah, it's gonna take me a while to get readjusted to the game, especially now that I'm playing in a different. I don't know what to call it. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot I can't do that yet. But basically, very little known fact. Items you drop in here. If you drop the item in there and relog, depending on the item, when you've logged back in, it'll be a different item, and the rarity of the item you drop affects the rarity of the item you get. So we made it out of the asylum, and that is the first part of the game done. Not a speedrun record. Don't give a shit. Let's continue with it.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Lordran. And here you get a pretty good overlook of the basic area where you're going to be spending a lot of time. Here, crow drops you. Now you continue with your quest. So, good thing there's a bonfire here because, you know, obviously I get more flasks. Up to 10. I forget that this bonfire starts out kindled, and I've always wondered why I get 10 flasks, and then I remember. You could jump that. Alright, so let's go gather up all these starter items, and then we'll just, you know, keep pushing forward. I'm not exactly sure how long I'm going to push this stream to the point in the game, or till the amount of time I'm going to push it to. Oh, wow, that's not good at all. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. That's weird. That's actually never happened to me before. I've never been randomly disconnected from Xbox. It's freaky. That says my battery bar is only at 1. Guys, give me a second to figure out what is happening, because this is weird. It says my battery bar is only at 1, but the light on the charger is green. I just got randomly kicked off of Xbox Live. Huh. Alright, well, connect to Xbox Live then. I like playing Dark Souls online for the sake of the invasions and for being invading, and I don't know what's happening. I don't know why all of a sudden it's kicking me offline. Bitch, it's weird. Okay, well, I don't know what to do about this, actually. I don't want to cut the stream, you know, so prematurely, but I really feel like I might have to if I don't get this issue resolved, and then I'll just, you know, restart it. Either that or I'll just keep you guys with me through this technical issue. So, alright guys, welcome to Dark Souls Technical Support. I'm going to be trying to figure out why my Xbox just kicked me off. This is a big deal to me because Dark Souls, I feel that Dark Souls needs to be played online, because there's so many activities and so much fun to be missed when you're in offline mode. It just, let's face it, Dark Souls offline just sucks. I'm still connected to my Wi-Fi. I've got full signal strength, so let's see what's going on here. This is weird. I might just sign out and sign back into Xbox Live if I have to, which it looks like I might have to. At least my progress in Dark Souls should have saved, hopefully. Okay, So, I guess I'm gonna sign out and sign back in, if that does anything. I'm really sorry about this, guys. This is not what I expected. This is not what I wanted to happen. I know this is not entertaining for you guys in the slightest. I really, really apologize for this. Unfortunately, this seems kind of unavoidable at this point. So, I'm gonna work and I'm gonna get this issue solved as quickly as possible so we can jump right back in the gameplay so the stream can keep pushing forward because I really, really want to get some good Dark Souls footage out. I've been wanting to do Dark Souls streams for a very, very long time, ever since I got the game, and I haven't been able to. This is my first chance. This is actually the first recorded gameplay I have ever done of Dark Souls, and so far it's not going well, and that's not what I want. So I'm gonna work as hard as I can and try to get this issue resolved as quickly as I can. But guys, just bear with me. You guys, you do have a choice. You can stay with me and listen to me talk and try to get this fixed, or you can go ahead and cut out of the stream and jump back in maybe 5 or so minutes. You guys actually might want to do that. You guys might just want to go ahead and jump out of the stream and come back in maybe 5 minutes, or and I would kiss you, but I can't. Also, I have a girlfriend, and that'd be a no-no. So, I guess I'm going to just disconnect from my Wi-Fi. Scan again. I'm really sorry about this, guys. I apologize on 1,000 different levels. I know this is really, there's no excuses for this. I'm just as curious as you guys are as to what's happening. Looks like you guys get to watch me put in my password. D5 or 5? This is not what I expected. I did not anticipate this at all. Worst comes to worst, I will just play in offline mode for the duration of this stream. Not something I want to do, but it might be something I have to do. But it's just weird. Yeah, my internet's acting up because the internet that's on my laptop is working fine, and it says I'm connected to the internet. Xbox Live is okay. That's weird. It's weird that that happened. But now, hopefully, everything will be resolved. I can get right back into Dark Souls, and we can continue with this. Just act like it never happened. And I'm really hoping it allows me to sign back into Xbox Live. If it does not, which it did, good. Very good. Thank you very much, Microsoft, for that. Okay. So now we jump right back into Dark Souls. And yes, I do have the games on demand version. It's much easier. It's much more comfortable. For me, I guess I could just go right to recent, press A, and bam, it started. Also, don't have to take the chance of my disc getting broken. I'd really like to have Dark Souls 2 digital, but I know that's not going to happen for a long time. So I'm going to take very, very good care of my Dark Souls 2. Luckily, I'm getting it in the metal case because I get the Black Armored Edition, which is great. I get the metal case, the early access to the weapons. And let's actually talk for a minute about Dark Souls 2 pre-orders. If you pre-order Dark Souls 2, you're immediately granted the Black Armor Edition. And within the Black Armor Edition is early access to a whole bunch of sets of unique weapons. Now, note that it's early access and not exclusive access. The weapons that are obtained through pre-order are available in the game regularly without pre-order, which I think is really interesting because it's not giving anyone an unfair advantage over anybody else. It's just that you get the weapons a bit early. It's not like it's going to make a difference because Dark Souls 2 is supposed to be way, way harder than the first one. So, I'm really excited to see how that plays out for the PvP realms and stuff, for how people, do competitive multiplayer with that. Alright, well without further ado, let's go. And I head right up onto Undeadburg. Now I know that they did change the controls a bit for Dark Souls 2, in that the button for sprinting and jumping are no longer the same button. I believe you can change them whenever you want, though. I'm pretty sure they said you could change it on the fly. So, hopefully that's true, because unlike a lot of people, I really like having the sprint and jump button logged, you know, bound to the same button. It just makes it easy for me, I guess. I don't know. I'm weird. But regardless, I've been so used to the controls of the original Dark Souls that I'm not gonna like the change, I guess. And then here comes this asshole. No, it's a firebomb. Thought I killed all of you. Oh shit. Oh. Funky green hair. Boom, bitch. Holy hell. He's never done that before. I've never had that guy jump down those stairs. And I've gone through this game at least 6 times. I wish that was an exaggeration. My level 147, unfortunately I'm only on New Game Plus 1, because all of my save data got corrupted at one point. And so, I kind of had to restart. Yes, I've already been poisoned. Because I have such low health, this is going to do a lot more damage than it needs to. Probably because I forgot to level up at the bonfire. I'm not going back now. I don't think there's anything in here. Well, I don't really care. I'm gonna grab the items that I know where they are. I'm not doing a speed run. Please do not consider this a speed run. This is not a speed run by any means. But I do want to see if my knowledge of the Dark Souls world is gonna serve me well in my next playthrough. Because like I said, this is actually my 7th playthrough. Unfortunately, this is not New Game Plus 7. That'd be really fun to stream, but I'm actually stuck on New Game Plus 1. Like I said, I have not played this game close to 3 months, which is really upsetting to me, because this is all I used to play. I want to get back into it though, and hopefully I can get back into the swing of things and be as good as I used to be. Ooh, if it weren't for those invincibility frames, that would have hit me. Wow, I got hit out of bonfire. That's weird. Alright, so let's level up some. I guess we'll go with endurance. Come on. Ah, that was awful. Yeah, that's right, I actually wanna fuck some feet for a second. I do believe there's an item back here. I'm actually fairly sure there is. But that R1 followed by that quick R2 for the broadsword at the lower levels where you are, where I am in the game right now, is extremely useful because it pretty much always results in a 2-hit kill, which is better than the 3 or 4 that it sometimes takes. I know it's only 1 or 2 hits, but trust me, that can be a huge lifesaver. I can't even tell you how many times I've been in a situation where 1 or 2 hits would have made the difference between life and death. So I got some gold pine resin, definitely gonna save that until I can start farming it later down a dark route. Swig of the old flasker. So, do some more talk about Dark Souls 2 for a second. What I think is pretty interesting about Dark Souls 2, what they did, is you actually only start the game with a single drink from your flask. That strikes me in a really weird sense, I guess. I don't really know how to explain how I feel about that. Like, I love it, but at the same time, it's just, Jesus. I mean, this game does not need to be any harder, and they made it harder. The developers have said so many times that Dark Souls 2 is going to be so much more difficult than the first one, which I'm really looking forward to. I thoroughly enjoyed the surprise difficulty from Dark Souls. You know, when I first got the game, not really knowing too much what it was, and then just having this immense difficulty kind of punch you in the mouth. At first, it turned me away, and then I started thinking, and I was like, geez, I really want to play this game some more, and I just started playing it more and more until I developed sort of an unhealthy relationship, I guess you could say, with the game. Which apparently happens to a lot of people, which is cool, I guess. But, you know, I really enjoy this game. It's definitely one of my favorite games of all time. I would definitely, you know, I know that I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I would actually much rather sit down and play this for hours than I would anything else like Legend of Zelda or really any old school game, just because to me this feels like one of those games. This really feels like everything that those games could have been when we were kids. Like Ocarina of Time, you know, Wind Waker, stuff like that, those are all great games. I love the Legend of Zelda series. But this game just strikes me in such a different way. Like, I don't know, this game just kind of hits you in ways you've never been hit before. And especially coming from a modern, you know, what is now actually last gen game, that's really refreshing. It's nice seeing games that still have the ability to do that. And honestly, it hasn't been since the first Dark Souls. Now that Dark Souls 2 is coming out, it's gonna be the same refreshing feeling, but for completely different yet simultaneously similar reasons. Also, I've never had this much trouble with these guys. Oh, they're down. Taurus Demon up ahead. Black fire bombs are the way to go for this guy. Plunge attack and fire bombs. That's what's done me well for this guy. Really got to get on this ladder before he swings that first hit. So fighting the Taurus demons down in the demon ruins, a lot harder than I expected actually. When I went through this on my first playthrough, I had a friend of mine who was a little bit ahead of me and told me that there was like, oh dude, there's a lot of Taurus demons down in demon ruins, and I was like, oh fuck. And they were surprisingly easy, you know, I guess. They're a lot smaller than this guy because they're not bosses, I guess. No, son of a bitch. And yes, I am doing this in an extremely cheap manner. but I really could not care less. The boss is just, honestly, I think the Taurus Demon is one of the easiest bosses in the entire game. Much easier than, I don't know, actually, there's a lot of easy bosses. I guess you can, I don't really know. It depends on what your definition of easy for this game is. To me, the Taurus Demon's always been easy. I've actually always had more trouble with the Asylum Demon than I do the Taurus Demon. So, you know, that's just me. I'm sure that it works out differently for anybody else who plays the game. I'm sure that you guys have your own methods, strategies, you know, whatnot. So let's get down here and talk to Solaire.
Now that you find.
Oh yeah, I should have let this dialogue play out for you guys. But anyway, he just basically explains that the whole reason that there are phantoms in the game, and phantoms are the multiplayer. As you can see, I just got a white sign soapstone, which allows me to be summoned into another player's world to assist them. Well, basically, the reason that there are phantoms being summoned into others' worlds because of a ripple in time, space, I guess. There's a giant rip in time, essentially, is what's causing different timelines to be warped and crossed over from one to another. Different, I don't know the word, but different instances, that's what it is, about like why right now I'm playing this exact level at the same time as someone else, yet at the same time something different's happening for them. Like in someone else's game, that dragon probably, the Drake, sorry, fanboys, probably just killed you know, a couple people. And that didn't happen in my world. They're not even there in my world, and that's because of the rip in time that that's happening. So it's a very unique storyline. Dark Souls is not story driven. Well, it is story driven, but only if you look for it. This is not a narrative game. This is not a linear game. If you want the story, if you want the lore, Dark Souls, you really have to go look for it. There's no, you know, notes to pick up. There's no books to read. It's you look for the story and you interpret it as what you want. Which is what I've really, you know, really enjoyed about Dark Souls, was figuring all this stuff out for myself. I am aware that they changed that a bit in Dark Souls 2, as to where a bit more of the story is kind of spoon-fed to you at the beginning of the game. It basically explains that it is in the same universe as the first Dark Souls, which is pretty cool. But Dark Souls 2 takes place so far into the future that no one in Dark Souls 2 remembers any of the events of Dark Souls 1. And all the events, like everything that you do in Dark Souls 1, has kind of just become legend, has become folklore in Dark Souls 2. Which is really unique that, well, not unique, but this is really neat that they incorporate your character, like, at all into the second game. What I was always really hoping for, I know there's a super high chance that's not how it's gonna work. I've always wanted to see a sequel, where the antagonist of the sequel was your character that you played as for the first game. Like, if I were to load up Dark Souls 2, the antagonist would be this character that I'm playing right now. I've always wanted to see a game do that. I've always thought that would be like the coolest thing in the world. I also don't know, I keep forgetting I'm such a low level. I'm wondering why these rats are poisoning me in one blow. So I really do need to go open that. I didn't even think about it. Also, they actually, a lot of people, it was rumored they were removing the weapon clipping, which is like, you go to swing, and your weapon kind of clips a corner. Like, there were a guy here. Oh, my bad. Like, see, that would have not finished it. It was rumored that Dark Souls 2 got rid of that. Dark Souls 2 did not get rid of it, and they actually made it more realistic, which means that there's definitely going to be a lot more variation in fighting strategies in small corridors. Like, for instance, if I would have a Claymore as Zweihander in this this area right here, it would be completely ineffective in Dark Souls because of the constant clipping that would happen. So that's really cool. Definitely gonna get annoying. I know that's gonna get annoying, and I know that's gonna get a kill, and I know that I'm gonna rage at it. But I'm so excited for it. It's crazy. If you were not a masochist before you played Dark Souls, you definitely are after you play it. There's no getting around that. Also, that gate that just closed, I never knew this, but if you just make a dart, you can actually make it through the gate before the hollow on the other side closes it, which is pretty cool. Still here. Oh man, I forgot I was poisoned. Did not even remember I was poisoned. It's crazy. So I guess I'm gonna reload. I think I'm at the, yeah, the bonfire. I think I might actually change things up a bit. I'm gonna play on my level 147 for a bit. I do definitely want to go through the game again, but I'm actually at around this point on my 147 new game plus 1. I think I'm actually a little bit ahead. So I'm gonna go switch over to my 147, and also my stats are a bit wonky on my 147, which is why I stopped playing the game. For some reason, my stats have moved to give me such an extreme unfair advantage. It's ridiculous. And it's actually the reason that I stopped playing the game, because my stats glitched out. I've got way more health and stamina than I should, and it really bothers me because I can't play the game the way it's meant to be played. But I've been reading up on some stuff, and I know how to fix it, and so I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to go fix my wonky stats, and get back into the game, new game plus. So, as you can see, I'm way farther in the game. Got more stuff. This is extremely unfortunate because take a look at my stats. 4,400 health, 600 stamina. That is unfucking believable. That is heartbreaking because it means that I'm extremely overpowered. But luckily, I do know how to fix it. All I should have to do is level up, and it should kill me. Yeah, also, all these stats glitched out too, but these don't actually have an effect. Like, it's dexterity is 93, but I don't believe that it is. I'm not sure. I'm really hoping that my stats are fixed when I do this. So, okay, yay, yeah, but still, 2,149. I guess that's not too much ever. Jeez. I don't know what to do about this. Let's go all vitality. And it did not kill me. That is crazy. Huh. Oh, that should recharge my health. Yep, there we go. And I should be back to not looking like a modder. Yes, my stamina is fixed. My health should be fixed. Everything should be good now. And I don't actually remember what it was that I was doing. I believe I was going to fight Sif, or I was coming back from fighting Sif. I don't really remember. So, I'm gonna go kill something and see how this works out. Alright, not too bad. If I can make it through this forest without getting invaded, that'd be wonderful. Although I seriously doubt that that's gonna happen. This forest, I believe it's the Darkroot Forest or Darkroot Woods or whatever, is extremely high PvP area. A lot of PvP traffic. You're pretty much guaranteed to get invaded down here, especially if you betray this covenant, which I believe I have. I'm fine. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, so I've been invaded. There it is. Ooh. Lag is real. Yeah, of course. It's been way too long, guys. It has been way too long. Well, he bowed. I'm not gonna. It was good. Almost got him. Unfortunately, was not good enough. So, better luck next time. Dropped all my stuff, so now I don't have a choice but to go back and get it. Hopefully, I had a lot of humanity. I believe I had 95. Could be, you know, very sadly mistaken. I believe it was 95. That was. See, that's another thing I'm talking about. His attack connected, yet it did not remove any damage. It did not deal any damage to me, it seems. Not kill him, okay. Don't you dare. Oh, you said you did. Stop it. Early. And for anybody that may be questioning why I call him a girly man, the lore to Dark Souls is healing magic is very, very strongly based in women. It's a very, very feminine feature, and that's actually one of the only male characters in the game who uses healing magics, or miracles rather. I kind of feel like I've already beaten Sif, and I was on my way back, because I don't think Alvina's here. No, she is not, and that is because I betrayed this covenant, which is why I get invaded so much. Okay, so I have already beaten Sif. I'm not really quite sure what to go do, honestly. I don't have the Lord Vessel yet, I know that, so I can't warp. Huh. Not warp yet. But you know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna end it here. It's been almost an hour. I really appreciate you guys coming in and watching. It's been fun. It's really been a lot of fun getting back into the game. I'm definitely gonna do a lot more streams up until the release of Dark Souls 2, and then definitely a shit ton of streams, videos, contests, giveaways, and more for Dark Souls 2. This video will be up on YouTube if you guys want to go back and take another look at it or to share it with your friends. So yeah. I really, really appreciate the support, guys. It means a lot. I really thank you guys for coming and watching. I had a lot of fun doing this. I definitely plan for longer streams in the future, more engaging streams, you know, more active chat. Definitely, the chat was kind of dead this time around, but you know, it's whatever. So, thanks a lot, guys, once again, and